I'm Susan and welcome to my kitchen. I've been teaching people about food and cooking for over 10 years, inspiring them to get back in the kitchen with delicious, simple recipes like this one. Rather than calling it just plain fish soup, it's almost a bouillabaisse, that beautiful Provençal specialty with lots of local seafood and great vegetables. To make this delicious version of a simple bouillabaisse, we're going to start with some olive oil in the pan and just heat that up. These are my aromatic vegetables, my celery, carrots, and onions, and I've chopped them all about the same size, that's important, and fairly small. Let's add those in. I'm going to be using dried herbs, and I always like to add my dried herbs with my vegetables. Because I'm using salmon as my seafood, I've got a little tarragon. If you don't like tarragon or don't have it, use rosemary instead. Also got some dried thyme and a little cayenne to give it just a little kick. Whenever you add flour to a dish, you want to cook it a little bit before you add liquid. You want to get rid of that raw flour taste. I'm adding my white wine to the pan now, and this is going to give me a nice thick base for my soup, but also it's going to add some nice astringency, so a good bite to the flavor of the soup. I'm going to finish my soup by adding the vegetables that don't take long to cook. This is a fresh tomato that I've cut in small, thin julienne type strips, and I've got a garlic clove that I've pressed through my garlic press. I'm going to add that in, and then I'm going to just pour my boiling stock with the saffron right on top. All of my ingredients except the fish are now in the soup. I'm going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes so the flavors will develop and the vegetables will keep cooking. In the meantime, let's prepare our salmon. First of all, I'm using a nice flexible bladed knife. It's thin and it's going to help me remove the skin that's still on it, which is what you want. It helps you determine that the fish is fresh, no blemishes, it smells like the sea. It's delicious and perfect. To take the skin off, just angle your knife towards the board, get yourself a nice finger hold, and wiggle the fish back and forth, leaving your knife pretty much steady. Now just cut your salmon into bite-sized pieces so it'll be easy to eat when it's in the soup. My soup's been simmering for about 15 minutes. My vegetables are almost cooked through. I'm just going to add my salmon now, right at the end of cooking. Seafood doesn't take very long. It's only going to take about 3 minutes to cook. It's going to poach in the soup, and then we'll be ready to serve. My salmon is cooked. I'm removing my bay leaf. Now I just need to taste it and season it with a little salt and pepper to my liking before I serve it. I like to serve this soup with some good crusty French bread and some nice salty European style butter. Your friends, your family, you are going to love this. Oh, it is so good. Healthy living begins with healthy eating, and healthy eating begins in the kitchen. Learn to cook with me and we'll make more of these great dishes with real food and fresh ingredients. Bon appetit. Wow, that's really good.